When I first thought of opening up my investment book, so to speak, here on the channel and discussing my strategy, it seemed a bit daunting, mostly because a personal investment strategy is just that. It's personal. But I don't mean personal as in private, I mean personal as in strategy, I guess. So not only was I a little bit worried about being told I'm doing it all wrong by strangers on the internet, I also didn't want someone to look at what I'm doing and try to copy it because it just might not be right for them. That said, I have changed my tune on this quite a bit. You can comment and tell me I'm doing it wrong all you want, that's fine. It won't bother me because 3 years and lots of research later, I am perfectly happy with my strategy because it works for me. Honestly, if you're just getting started, you can totally copy my strategy or some of the beginner tips I'm gonna recommend. I don't see a ton of harm in taking on a similar strategy because A, it's simple, B, it's well-researched, and C, it works. Again, at least for me. And either way though, this is the kind of video I do wish existed back when I first started my IRA because I had $1,000, so I thought I was ready to go. But opening the account and depositing the money I found out was the easy part, then I got stuck. I had no idea what to actually invest in, so my cash just sat there for weeks. But many gray hairs later, I landed on a strategy that was far less simple than what it is today. So as much as I preach today's strategy, about 6 months ago, I had my money invested in, I think 6 different places. I sat down one day and I dove into each of those accounts so I could see exactly what I was invested in. And well, on screen is the result of that activity. And looking at this just makes me cringe. Today, my investment portfolio looks so much different. On that note, if you've seen my videos in the past, nothing today should surprise you. I believe in a simple set it and forget it investment approach. I believe in dollar cost averaging into tax advantage retirement accounts to the max. I invest in low fee index funds that track either the S&P 500, which is the top 500 companies in the US, or a low fee index fund that tracks the entire stock market, a tiny fraction of thousands of companies. Spoiler, I'm a huge fan of Vanguard funds because I'm a huge fan of low fees. Of course, always do your own research before investing, but I'm gonna share my portfolio here today with full transparency because I am totally an open book here on the channel. And after that, I'm gonna reveal my FIRE number, the amount of money that I need saved and invested before I could comfortably retire, plus my thoughts on all of it throughout. And if all that sounds good, stick around until the end. And of course, consider liking this video if you already appreciate what's ahead. It does go a long way in helping me out. But by the way, my name is Frankie and welcome to The Money Resolution, where we resolve to get good with money. I put out videos twice a week, so subscribe if I earn it by the end of this and you want more content like this from me. Before I dive right in and share my beautifully simple portfolio, I want to take a few seconds to take you back about 3.5 years when I set my money resolution and got determined to turn my financial life around. I'd call that the beginning of my investment journey, I guess. I had a handful of older work retirement accounts that I had to track down and consolidate. That was no fun, but I got it done. Since I didn't know how to invest on my own yet, I listened to friends and opened up an Acorns account so that I could round up and invest my change. And I also opened up a Betterment account because I was learning about robo-investing from a podcast ad. Yep, true story. And I opened up a Roth IRA with TD Ameritrade after about, 15 minutes researching a brokerage that I wanted to use. Plus, I started a new job, which meant a brand new 401k account. Things were all over the place, like I've alluded to. Oh, plus I also put a couple of hundred in crypto using the Coinbase app and a couple hundred in individual stocks using Stockpile. And in early 2020, I decided to try out M1 Finance. That's what I used for my Roth IRA that year. This was all messy, but I was just learning and trying just about anything that I was learning. About 3 months ago, I decided enough's enough. It's time for a change. I wanted all things in one place so that I could keep everything streamlined and simplified. That one place I landed on was M1 Finance after using it for a year. And here is where things become so much less stressful in this reveal today. Think of M1 Finance like Robinhood, except it has a few bonus perks that I like, such as retirement account offerings, automatic dividend reinvesting, and automatic portfolio rebalancing, and all of that with a low fee of $0 to trade. Do feel free to look into M1 Finance, and if you like what you see, I do have a referral link in the description down below that'll get you $30 free just for signing up and investing your first $100. Luckily, when it came to consolidating everything over to M1 Finance, they made it crazy simple and they took care of most everything for me. I really just needed to download recent statements from other accounts and fill out a couple of forms and attach those statements. I literally did nothing else but wait. And finally, about 6 or 7 weeks later, I had successfully rolled over all of my random accounts into one, for the most part. My work 401k is still separate, but everything else is in, I should say, 3 accounts with M1 Finance. And here on screen is what those accounts currently look like. As you can see, I have a traditional IRA, a Roth IRA, and an individual investing account. Between the 3, all of my investments are in a grand total of 2 funds. Those funds I'm going to reveal now are VOO and VTI. VOO tracks the S&P 500 and is technically an ETF. VOO is also an ETF that tracks the entire US stock market. My M1 pies, as they like to call them, are made up of just one fund in each of those accounts. Pies are really cool though if you do want to create a more custom approach and take advantage of that rebalancing and such. But for now, I am perfectly happy with this strategy. The performance between these 2 funds has been nearly identical over time, and that's because VTI is 80% VOO. VTI, the total stock market, is 80% S&P 500, the top 500 stocks. Those are both, by the way, Vanguard funds, and Vanguard is well known for having some of the lowest expense ratios or fees in the industry. I'm gonna put the expense ratios on screen now for each of those funds. Not bad, right? For comparison, I'm also gonna put on screen same or similar funds offered elsewhere that I looked up, I hope, during editing. Even though those percentages do still seem low, that's roughly 5 times more in fees than what I'm paying today. Or so I'm guessing. I really hope that line holds up in editing. That's roughly 10 times more in fees than what I'm paying today. Did I get closer? When it comes to my 401k, I am more limited for what I'm able to invest in. And so for that, I chose the Fidelity equivalent of VTI. The one I have is another low-cost index fund that tracks the S&P 500. I'll put the expense ratio comparison on screen now. Now, if you go with Vanguard, Fidelity, or Schwab, you are likely to pay the least amount in fees. Little pro tip there. You're gonna see lots of these target date funds on screen in this list available for me and what I can invest in that I didn't choose. And if you're wondering why I didn't invest in target date retirement funds, it's because number 1, the fees are higher, and number 2, these include bonds and a higher percentage of bonds as you get closer to that year that's listed in the fund name, which minimizes your risk. However, I am totally comfortable with the high level of risk because I'm relatively young, 35, and I know myself as an investor by now. I know that I'm not gonna panic and sell anything if we experience a recession. I'm young enough and far enough away from retirement that my funds do have plenty of time to bounce back, and they will, because the market always does. Fun fact, recessions last roughly 1.5 years on average, but the growth period that follows lasts 3.2 years on average. And that's the kind of information that helps you not panic and sell when things are down. And really that's it for my investing and retirement accounts. Nope, there's one more actually that I've totally neglected until now, and that's my HSA. Yes, you can invest your HSA funds, generally anything over $1,000 or $2,000. And I do aim to max out my HSA annually, and I invest everything it'll let me into a very similar Vanguard 500 fund that it offers. Glad I didn't forget this HSA. This is a critical account if you have access that offers triple tax benefits. Watch my older video on the topic for more on HSAs. I no longer own any crypto, unless you count literally 8 cents. I no longer own individual stocks. I sold those off about, I don't know, a year and a half ago. I no longer have random miscellaneous old work retirement accounts lingering because I've rolled them all over. No more Acorns or Betterment because of fees with those that I can avoid. And I just like to have more control over what I'm doing now. Acorns and Betterment are fantastic though, if you're a total beginner. I even did a review on Betterment recently that you should check out if you're interested in learning more about robo investing. So this is about as simple and minimalist as it gets, I think. And you know what? It works. I spend very little time thinking about the market or tracking performance, as in, I think no time pretty much. It's all automated, and that helps keep it all emotionless. Don't get me wrong, my strategy will probably not be this simple forever. I do still lust over crypto and regret selling my Bitcoin. NFTs are strange, but I'm gonna keep an eye on them. And Coinbase, the app that I used to use to buy crypto, is actually going public, and that could get really interesting. And when we do inevitably hit a recession, I'll probably consider buying some individual stocks again, you know, at a discount, very little of course, and only dividend paying ones. All right, my FIRE number. I've explained in the past how to calculate your FIRE number. FIRE, by the way, being financial independence, retire early. This is taking your expenses and multiplying it by 25. And this is because of the 4% rule. Of course, though, you do need to know your expenses year to year on average as a starting point. But this too is super simple to share because I create a financial plan once a year and I share it here on the channel. And looking at that video on my plan this year, you can see my expected annual expenses in 2021 were estimated to be right around $40,000. Note though that this does exclude my debt payoff, which is towards my one and only debt, which is student loans, but that's because those are gonna be paid off by the time I achieve FIRE, if that makes sense. If I take that $40,000 and multiply it by 25, that lets me know that my FIRE number is exactly $1 million. However, with that said, I've been very focused on building passive income streams. Currently, I have 5 that are bringing in consistent revenue monthly, which is something I'm sharing here on the channel. And it's something I'm gonna continue to work on and hopefully scale and grow for years. Because of that passive income, I'm comfortable bringing my FIRE number down by $100,000 and calling it $900,000. Now, this is right now today in April 2021, but I will revisit and rerun these numbers annually, and you totally should as well, because life is gonna do life things and mix things up on you from year to year. As of today, I do feel I could retire from a full-time job if I reach $900,000 invested, and I'll be able to safely live off of passive income, dividends, and just overall portfolio growth if I only pull out 4% of my total net worth year to year. My goal is to get there by age 45, but I do know for a fact I'm gonna continue to contribute to society and create things that help and reach people and establish passive income for myself in the process, because this whole thing, this writing books, this YouTube channel, making courses, and showing people how I'm doing what I'm doing is something I genuinely love. Today's plan is super simple because I love simple. I guess I'm a financial minimalist, whatever that means. But my plan is going to evolve and change and develop over time. But as of now, you now know my entire investment portfolio, my FIRE number, and my thought process behind it all. I do wish I had a sexier plan to share here today. No, I don't actually. Keep it simple, smarty. I hope it's a lot of fun to look back on this video 10 years from now and all my thoughts on this. But future me, I hope you kept it simple and didn't get obsessed with anything in particular except your family, your friends, and creating a business you love. But I do hope you bought that flying car. I mean, how could you resist that 2032 model? It looked freaking awesome. And to think that Apple was gonna beat Elon Musk to it, who saw that coming? But I am happy that Elon took us to the moon, literally. Thanks for watching this video. Let me know what you think of my approach, and let me know if you have any questions about M1 Finance or the rollover process. Link below again if you're interested in getting started with M1 Finance and getting your free $30. Rolling over accounts and consolidating is a challenge at times, but so worth it. So many people tell me that this is on their list, so if that's you, I'm here to say, do it. It is not as hard as it seems. It took me maybe 30 minutes of total effort, and I only regret not getting everything organized in one place sooner. Thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe if you wanna hang out with me on my journey more often. My name is Frankie, this is The Money Resolution, and I'll see you awesome people in a few days on the next one. Thanks. You know, I've never recommended a video here in the outro that I didn't personally make, but check out this video about flying cars that MKBHD's Retro Tech just put out. It's a good one. But I also made this goodie for you. See you guys.